there's this idea in the Torah of something called Amalek, right?
Hmm.
So Amalek, also known as the Amalekites, sometimes just called Amalek. So according to the Torah, the first group to attack the Israelites, to oppose the Israelites while they were in the wilderness, was this group called the Amalekites.
Hmm.
And the Amalekites, they, for some reason, they hate the Bani Israel. They hate the Israelites. They want to kill them. They want to exterminate them. And so, in the Bible, you have these. In the Hebrew Bible, you have these commandments coming from God, apparently, to
Hmm.
the Israelites to exterminate the Amalekites. Okay, so for example, 1 Samuel chapter 15, King Saul, the first king of Israel, was told uh, to to exterminate the Amalekites. But Saul, he didn't do the job correctly, and he spared the Amalekite king, whose name was Agag, and so Agag sort of fled, I guess. I mean, later on he was killed, but apparently the Amalekites survived somehow. And so, in the book of Exodus, there's a passage where God is the speaker, and God says that from generation to generation, midor midor in Hebrew, from generation to generation, I will make war on Amalek,
Hmm.
right? So, in other words, many rabbis, many Orthodox rabbis, take this to mean that in every generation, there is some group um, that embodies this spirit of Amalek
Yeah.
and must be exterminated,
Hmm.
right? So if there's, that's probably the closest thing you'll get to an idea of an antichrist. That there's going to be this group of people that are going to always oppose Israel
Yeah.
and try to basically destroy Israel until the coming of the Messiah, and then he will basically take them out.
So I understood this to be uh, literal, that Amalek are people that are wicked, uh, and we're supposed to fight them, or the Jews are supposed to fight them physically,
Right.
right? So I'm talking to a young man. His name is Rabbi Andrew Meyer,
Hmm.
and he always corrects me on this. He said, "No, no, 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 no. It's not that. It's metaphoric. We don't kill. The Ten Commandments say you should not murder, should not kill, and Amalek is evil in general." Now, I take this as, oh, this is some kind of modernism and metaphor, right? Everything is a metaphor. And we know how we treat those types of people in Islam, right? You really need to have conditions set in place regarding the language of the text in order to deem something to be a metaphor,
Right.
because God and his prophet speak directly, and there are no tricks and games in the speech. I would like to ask you, is what this young man is saying, is that a mainstream view, or is it a minority view, maybe a sanitizing
Yeah.
interpretation for
Um,
Westerners?
yeah. I don't think that's. I think it's a bit sanitizing. So modern traditional Jews tend to interpret these commandments against Amalek on genealogical grounds. So, in
Mm-hmm.
other words, any and all descendants of Amalek must be killed, irrespective of their culture.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, when it comes to this, the seven nations, we can say the Canaanites, broadly speaking, there is conversion. The seven nations that are in, from the river to the sea, they can actually convert to become a ben Noach. So, in other words, they can adopt the seven Noahidic laws, or they can actually convert to Judaism. But there's difference of opinion about the conversion of an Amalekite.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference of opinion as to whether he should be allowed to convert or not. If not, then he should be killed.
Yeah.
However, many would argue that it's just simply impossible to identify who is an Amalekite. So,
Yeah.
in other words, this commandment simply cannot be fulfilled, right? Um, it's just impossible to tell who's an Amalekite. Maimonides, he limits the application of this mitzvah to destroy Amalek to a Jewish king. He says only an anointed Jewish king can carry out this mitzvah.
I
But
see.
the mitzvah is there. It's not mansuch. The Jews don't believe in mansuch. They don't believe
Yeah.
in naskh. So this
Abrogation.
commandment is there. It's sort of just suspended. But we need an anointed Jewish king, and it seems like he's talking about the Messiah. And other authorities say that it will apply once again when the Messiah comes and he's taken control of the covenant land, the Eretz Israel. So yeah, the commandment is there. Now, there is this idea also that, like I said, Scripture has different levels of meaning. The commandment to destroy Amalek is not abrogated. It's still valid, but we don't know who Amalek is. But there's also this idea that there is a spiritual interpretation of the text. So even like the Orthodox will say that, one must strive to remove or to kill or destroy the Amalek within, right? These sort of impulses that we have that want us to rebel against God and this type of thing. But that's not all it means. And no traditional authority would say that's all it means. It's just the internal Amalek, and it's all this kind of botany stuff. And no, the commandment is literal, but it's suspended, right? Now, the Zionists, they actually teach that no, Amalek does not refer to any specific race, but a mentality, a mindset that will continue perpetually. So the Romans were Amalek, and the Nazis were Amalek, and Iran was Amalek, and now they're saying, obviously, what Bibi said, this guy, that the Palestinians, they're Amalek. They're Amalek. We have a duty. Remember what Amalek has done to you. Remember our proud history of Joshua the son of Nun and what he did, and we know what he did. He went into Canaan and slaughtered, at least according to the book of Joshua, slaughtered the indigenous people of Palestine, men, women, and children indiscriminately. So that's how these sort of Zionists interpret these verses about Amalek. Benzi Lieberman in 2004, he's the former director of Israel Land Authority. He said, quote, "The Palestinians are Amalek, we will destroy them."